What's up guys, Mickle here, and Ripple just made two bombshell announcements that are going completely under the radar. In this video, I want to show you why the entire cryptocurrency industry is offsides right now, pumping millions of dollars into projects that are ultimately going to disappear, while Ripple and XRP are building the platform for the next generation financial system behind the scenes. Guys, this is something you absolutely don't want to miss. It's really going to help you understand what you hold in comparison to the rest of the industry. I also want to talk about something at the end of the video that is going to massively impact the direction of markets over the next couple months. Guys, make sure to stick around for that. You cannot miss it. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who likes the videos and to subscribe to the channel. These two things really do help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said, though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, I need to start out this video and quickly talk about an enormous loss the SEC just took. And guys, what we know is the SEC has been taking repeated losses to cryptocurrency companies in court. We know that the SEC had an outlandish theory that XRP was a security and ultimately was proven wrong in the courts, and we're told they had an unfaithful allegiance to the law, were called hypocrites. It was a total embarrassment. But what just happened to the SEC in another case called the debt box case might have even been worse than the Ripple SEC case. Guys, listen to this. This is Meta Lawman's breakdown of what the judge just ruled in the debt box case, and this is in response to essentially the allegation that the SEC had been lying to the court to try to make some of Debtbox's actions seem worse than they were. Guys, listen to what the judge just said, because this really is an extremely embarrassing loss for the SEC and is going to have massive repercussions for the agency. Meta Lawman tweeted out, the judge in the Debtbox case has issued an 80-page opinion sanctioning the SEC for egregious misconduct in the case. The opinion is devastating to the SEC as an institution and to the particular lawyers who committed the misconduct. The judge made it crystal clear that the SEC lawyers did not make an error, they intentionally lied. In an opinion that will surely be cited by litigants across the country for years to come, the judge found that the critical evidence the commission offered to obtain and defend the ex parte TRO lacked any bias in fact, yet the commission nevertheless advanced the evidence in deliberately false and misleading ways. The SEC engaged in a gross abuse of power entrusted to it by Congress. The SEC undermined the integrity of the judicial process. The judge ordered that the SEC pay the attorney fees of the defendant, and Meta Lawman said this is a sad day. Guys, this is absolutely shocking. The SEC essentially is being completely called out for being fraudulent liars, and this is a massive hit to their credibility in the space. Guys, the SEC has been trying to take the stance that they are the good guys here. The SEC has been trying to take the stance that they're just trying to protect retail investors. But right here, they are being called out by a judge for intentionally trying to harm the industry without having any facts to prove it, and in fact making up facts to try to make a good person seem like a bad person. Guys, this is absolutely egregious behavior by the SEC, and this is the kind of thing that is really going to allow different people to crack down on the SEC. Guys, this is direct proof that the SEC is acting malicious and not just trying to take a hard stance against crypto, but specifically going against their own mandate, going against the laws to try to harm the industry. Absolutely embarrassing, but the good news is, guys, this is going to severely hurt the SEC going forward. Not only will Congress have specifics to point to when saying that the SEC is not following their mission of protecting investors, not only will Congress have facts to point to with a judge saying that the SEC is purposely being malicious, but now all the attorneys working at the SEC are going to have to reevaluate their decision because, guys, it is becoming a stain on their reputation. Not only are they making significantly less than they could make in the private sector, but now they're essentially taking a massive risk that their reputation is going to be ruined for life. Guys, the SEC's legal teams were already extremely weak. I don't think this is going to help in the slightest. The SEC has not won a case to date in regards to cryptocurrencies. Things like this is just going to make it harder and harder. I have never been more confident that Ripple has absolutely nothing to worry about going forward in the Ripple SEC case. Guys, the SEC can't even beat Debtbox. They got absolutely wrecked. Things are not looking good at all for the SEC. I want to move on now, though, and talk about something that's definitely a very important topic to discuss and definitely a highly controversial one, and that is really what is happening with the cryptocurrency market. Right now, we see cryptocurrency projects with absolutely no utility, meme coins, and NFTs pumping through the roof. And a lot of that is happening on Solana. Guys, I saw this tweet the other day, and I thought it was pretty important to be paying attention to. It was tweeted out by Mason, and he said, "Remember how easy and cheap it is to launch a quick blank coin on Solana." Guys, all you have to do is pick a JPEG file on your phone and then hit create coin. This is what is driving most of the demand on Solana right now. This is what is driving most of the activity. It's people gambling, YOLOing money away. Guys, I understand that right now this is creating returns. I understand right now this is creating activity, but you cannot convince me that this is the future of cryptocurrency. You cannot convince me that cryptocurrencies were created so that people can upload a JPEG on their computer, create a token, and funnel millions of dollars into it, and then rug pull on people who are buying the token. That is not the utility being created. Cryptocurrencies are offering a new way to move value all around the world. This technology is going to be used to underpin a future financial system, but that is not what's being built here. What is being built here is a pump and dump scheme in order to get retail to pile in on top of each other and then pull the rug out from underneath one another. Guys, this is not the kind of adoption I'm looking to invest in. This is not the kind of adoption I think is going to win over the long term. This is the kind of activity that I believe is extremely bubblish and ultimately gonna fade away. What I think is long-term sustainable, what I think is actually building products that are going to last and create a good reputation in the industry is things like this. Earlier today, we found out that Ripple was actually awarded the best DeFi infrastructure platform. Guys, do you understand what this means? Ripple was just awarded Best DeFi Infrastructure Platform, and no one in retail has any idea what that means. Why? Because Ripple is not building products for us. They are not building DeFi applications for me and you. They are building it for the biggest institutions on earth. Guys, this is the thing that people are struggling to understand right now. Ripple is building products from the top down. They are building products for the largest banks and money transmitters on planet Earth. They understand that these different large financial institutions will trickle down these products to their customers. This is the strategy I believe is going to win. I don't think it's Ripple going onto the internet and creating a mint button where you can upload a picture of a JPEG and get a bunch of people to pay millions of dollars to get into it. This is what Ripple is building that is going to drive real adoption, real utility, institutional grade DeFi platforms that the next generation financial system is going to be running on. And guys, it's not just that. The other day, we also found out that Ripple is moving to stage 2 of building a CBDC in Hong Kong. These are the kinds of things that Ripple is building behind the scenes. These are the kinds of things that are going to drive long-term sustainable adoption, long-term volumes, long-term demand for the digital asset XRP, not some mint button for a JPEG to try to get people to pile in behind you. These are the kinds of things that retail is not seeing right now. These are the kinds of things that are not getting appreciation in the market. But guys, I think that's going to change in a really big way. I think going into this next bull market, people are going to understand that this is the real utility. This is the real adoption. Cryptocurrencies are not meant to just be pumped to one person to another. They are not just meant to put JPEGs on the internet and charge insane values for them. These cryptocurrency networks really do have the potential to create a new financial system. And that is not going to be done without working with the biggest players on earth. Guys, that is the approach Ripple has taken since day one. And over the long term, I believe this is the strategy that's going to win. While everyone is pumping food coins on Solana, Ripple is building CBDCs for some of the most populated jurisdictions on earth. Ripple is building institutional grade DeFi products for the largest institutions on the planet. Guys, this is the adoption I believe is going to win. This is the strategy that I believe is the right strategy. Yes, it's not being seen in the market right now, but that's because right now the market is dominated by hype and retail FOMO. Guys, I don't think retail FOMO is going to drive the long-term sustainability. I don't think the retail FOMO is going to be the thing that cryptocurrency ultimately matures into. I think there is so much more to this asset class than that. I think there is so much more building that is going to happen as this technology gets more and more powerful. Guys, I think Ripple is doing it the right way. I think they're doing it the responsible way. And I think over the long term, XRP is going to benefit greatly from Ripple putting it in front of the institutions that actually matter, not as a pump and dump, get rich quick scheme. Overall, guys, I really hope this helps. Right now, we are in a very interesting time in the market where people are putting more and more resources behind projects that don't make sense and running away from the projects with fundamentals. I think that's going to change in a very big way. And guys, the last thing that I wanted to mention that I kind of forgot about, so I'll quickly mention it, is tomorrow is an FOMC meeting. It's going to be very critical to see what happens there because it's really going to dictate the future of the market. Essentially, the Federal Reserve is not going to change their rate strategy. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that the Federal Reserve is not going to change interest rates, but people are going to be paying attention very closely to how hawkish or dovish Jerome Powell is. Guys, I'm going to be watching that very closely. I think it could produce a buying opportunity in the market if he does act overly hawkish. Either way, though, certainly something I'm keeping my eye on. Make sure to stay tuned for that. We'll talk about it tomorrow. And for now, Mickle out.